for the fight. I freaking hate to fight. You think I like to fight in a cage in front of millions of people, maybe get humiliated, knocked out? I don't like to fight. Are you nuts? I like to win. When you win, the feeling is unbelievable. It's so good that it's worth this.
Testosterone, the hormone of success, the hormone of power and status. One of the hormones that can impact your behavior, your psychology, your mood on a day-to-day basis. The majority of men around the globe have a desire to increase their testosterone levels. Through all races, all culture, we as men have a desire to be more like men. I'm not here to debate what it means to be a man, I'm just telling you that increasing those levels as much as possible naturally will make you enjoy life a lot more and make you more alive, at least on the side of men. This of course was not made for women, you can still watch it and gain some knowledge from it, but my main demographic here is men. In this video I want to look more specifically at how our social life and behaviors can impact our levels. One thing I have to talk about before this video is that our brains haven't evolved that much since a couple thousand years ago. We still operate in the same way. The newest part of our brain that we have is the neocortex. This is the only way we can counter our primal desires. This is just to warn you that I will refer plenty of times back to how we used to live in our primal days and how it impacts us in this modern day. If you've ever been in social situations before, which I'm almost 100% sure you've experienced, you will know that they can alter quite a few things in your body. When you're on a date and you feel awkward, when you feel stressed during an interview, or when you get very excited to meet up with some friends, these are all social interaction that can alter the way you feel and that can also change your testosterone levels. Some things like winning any sort of competition, talking to attractive women, increasing your status are all things that increase your testosterone. I'll explain more specifically how all these things can impact your levels, with one of the main ones in social life being your position in the social hierarchy. Humans, like any other species, work in a hierarchy. When you look at studies on monkeys, you can quickly determine which ones have the highest testosterone and which ones have the lowest testosterone. You can see that the monkey with the highest testosterone is simply the one that is the highest in the social hierarchy. He is considered the alpha male. In our case, it's mostly about money, meaning that the poorest people are the lowest in the social hierarchy and the richest are the highest in the social hierarchy. Money is not the only determinant, of course. Things like clout and fame can also be recognized as status. In primal times, this would have been different. In those times, the big strong man would have been the alpha and the highest in that social hierarchy. In our modern day, we still have an alpha male, even though it can sound cringe sometimes when we talk about it. The alpha male is simply a term used to describe the man that is the highest status, the man who is the highest in that social hierarchy. The alpha male is going to be determined on the safety of a country and what is valued in that country. Let's say you live in the West, where everything is safe. Nobody cares about having a big bodybuilder, it's not what is valued. What will mostly be valued here is strong social connections and money. This is what will make you valuable in this type of society. In other countries where it's a lot more dangerous, where people live a more primal lifestyle, the alpha male is probably going to be the big strong guy that can provide and protect his tribe. This is what an alpha male is. It's the one that can provide and protect his tribe the best. In the West, it's going to be the one with a lot of money, and in the jungle tribe, it's going to be the big strong male that can fight off tigers and shit, you know. One last thing we have to say about the alpha male is that nowadays we have so many people on earth that there's not only one alpha male. This is why we talk about the top 10% of men, the top 5% of men. This group of men are considered our modern day alphas. Simple. Now, the effects of the social hierarchy on testosterone have been seen in organizations, where, just like I said before, the CEO, for example, would have higher testosterone than an employee in general. But again, there are a lot more things to take into account. Now, you may have realized that we tend to look at those people who have a lot of status. Whether it's movie stars, rappers, politicians, we tend to have a reflex of looking at what they post on social media, what they're up to, and what they will do in the future. Again, this makes sense when we go back to our primal days. The alpha male was the one that had the most impact on the tribe, the one that took the most decisions. If you didn't watch out, you could have started an attack and gotten killed by him. So it makes sense that we look up to those people. Now, this can lead to a question about how much does our modern technology and seeing all those better people on a daily basis impact our testosterone levels. If you scroll on Instagram, TikTok, or even YouTube, you will see people that are doing a lot better than you in life because that's what is getting promoted on these apps, and that could alter your levels negatively. Scrolling on these apps is addictive. It was made specifically to hook your attention, so you spend more time on them, which is your most valuable currency. That way they can show you more ads, make more money, etc. They know things about you that you yourself don't even know. And one of the things they know is that people love to look at those people that are impressive, rich, extremely good looking. So you as an average or maybe even below average man or woman will not be able to compare yourself to them. They probably beat you in every area of life. So it all comes down to your perception of things. Let's say you lived in a tribe of 150 people. They were all average, maybe you had one special person in the whole tribe, but that's it. All you saw on a daily basis was average people, and your brain's perception of your own position in the social hierarchy was probably okay, not good, but not bad either. Now, if all you see is better, richer, better looking than you on a daily basis, this is what your brain will start to perceive as normal. Your brain will automatically start to compare yourself to those people and base your position in the social hierarchy based on those people. But what are you compared to them? This is how social media and spending too much time on them can negatively impact your testosterone levels. You start to perceive yourself as less than you actually are, your status is lessened, and so are your testosterone levels. How big that impact is up for debate, but it will most likely lower them. Multiple studies have shown that when young men or men in general have a brief conversation of even only 5 minutes with women, or more specifically with potential mating partners, their testosterone rises. This makes perfect sense because you're exposed to a potential mating partner. In this more primal way, you have to be able to show that you're a man, that you're a good mating partner, and this of course is mostly subconscious. Evolutionarily, this makes sense since you're getting closer to reproducing, which is the whole point. If you do things or take actions that are going to increase your chances of reproducing, your body is going to reward you for that. Testosterone is a sex-seeking behavior, meaning that everything you do that will get you closer to finding a mate or is helping you to survive is something that will increase your testosterone. That's why competing with other males, training to build an attractive body, winning and talking to attractive women are all things that increase testosterone, because they get you closer to actual reproduction. I want to take a biological and psychological approach for this. The first is what happens in your body. The amygdala is most famous for its role in fear and what we consider to be too much. The amygdala is more about threat detection and what we consider to be scary. Testosterone will then bind to the amygdala and change the threshold for stress. So basically what testosterone will do is lower stress and anxiety by binding to the amygdala. The higher testosterone, the less stress you'll experience. Psychologically, social anxiety can be linked to lower testosterone. It's a form of subordination, meaning that you perceive yourself to be so low in the social hierarchy that you subordinate yourself to almost everybody. In primal times, this low status meant that you might get kicked out of the tribe and be left for dead. Your only way of surviving was by subordinating yourself to everybody. Socially anxious people are very uncomfortable with eye contact, and especially angry eye contact, and maintaining eye contact is seen as a dominance behavior and higher testosterone. Most males in any given species never get to reproduce and even never get to have sex. It's usually the males on top with the best genes that will be able to do this. Now of course, we have evolved, meaning that a lot more men can reproduce with a woman, but that doesn't change the fact that we're still quite the same as a couple thousand years ago. So males have to compete with other males to have access to women. Men have to show that they're worthy of reproduction to women. Testosterone is greatly going to determine which males are going to reproduce. Testosterone is a hormone that promotes risk-taking, accepting challenges, etc. So that means that the males with the highest testosterone are the ones that are willing to push the furthest in a competition and are willing to endure the most pain. Now it works in both ways, meaning that the males with higher T will engage in more competition and are willing to push further, but when humans compete, they also experience an increase in testosterone. It is known that even sports fans who watch their team win, or an actual team watching themselves win an old game, will boost testosterone. So males who compete in any sort of competition, whether it be chess, boxing, or just trying to make more money than somebody else, just the act of competing are going to experience a rise in testosterone. If that competition is won, the man will experience another rise in testosterone, and the man that loses will experience a drop. Any social defeat will result in lowering in testosterone, and any social win will cause an increase in testosterone. Now there's a small detail that needs to be addressed. Not all competition will result in higher T. You need to compete with people that are approximately on the same level as you. There's no science that I can find for this, but hopefully it will make sense and you will understand what I'm saying here. Let's say you have Timmy and Andrew. They both live in the same tribe 5,000 years ago. Timmy is a weakling and is down in the social hierarchy, while Andrew is the alpha male. Andrew is big, strong, and sexy. Timmy then suddenly wants to fight off Andrew to take his place. Timmy, even though wants to go in competition, will experience a drop in T, and that would discourage him from fighting Andrew. In that case, his drop in T actually helped him survive because he would have gotten killed by Andrew. What I'm trying to say here is that if you try to get in competition with people that are too far above you, you will experience a drop in testosterone because that drop in primal times would have saved your life. Taking responsibility for things that happen in your life is a great way to boost testosterone. The transition from boy to man nowadays is quite hard to know. Is it at 18, 20, 25? Is it when you get laid for the first time? Is it when you grow a beard? We don't really know, but I think I have the answer. You officially become a man when you take responsibility for everything that happens in your life. Every problem that you face, you're responsible for. Every issue you have to solve. It's no coincidence that boys or adolescents who start taking responsibility for their life and the lives of the people around them, that they suddenly become more masculine. This should be a slow process, of course. You have to start small by making your bed, clean the house, simple things, and you then build up. Start making some money, pay the bills, do the groceries. When you start taking more responsibility in your life, that's when your testosterone will rise. But talking about responsibility, one of the biggest responsibilities you can have in your life is having a child. Yet, it reduces your testosterone and increases estrogen in men drastically. Testosterone is a hormone that promotes sex-seeking behavior, not taking care of a family behavior. Testosterone is not about taking better care of a family, but more about seeking a mate. That's why you will see a slight drop in testosterone and an increase in estrogen when you get first into a relationship, and a more drastic drop in T when you're expecting a child. It's not a coincidence that expecting dads start to gain some body fat. What is interesting is that a father will see a bigger decrease in testosterone the more he is around the mother expecting the child. This could be because of smells or something else, but basically the more the father is away, the higher his testosterone will stay. I'm not encouraging anyone to get someone pregnant and then leaving to keep your testosterone levels high. That's not what I'm saying, but the point is that if a father is not sticking around, it means that he has to find another mate to reproduce with, and for that he will need higher testosterone. Another reason why testosterone drops is because if his testosterone stays high, he's going to engage in higher risk activities that could get him killed. He would have left a mother and a child to death. The whole point of reproduction is to be able to spread your genes and secure your bloodline. If he impregnates a woman and leaves, his bloodline is not secured at all. Why there's a drop in testosterone, making him more family focused and keeping him around his child and wife. Lastly, this increase in body fat might also be linked to surviving the sleepless nights that are going to come. During training in the gym, for example, you do have a slight increase in testosterone which then drops quickly after. An indirect cause of an increase in testosterone might be that the more attractive you are, the more access and the more exposure you'll have to social events where you will need more testosterone. Maybe you get invited to more parties, maybe more girls are interested in talking to you. These are all things that will lead to you increasing your testosterone. So increasing your attractiveness, whether it's by going to the gym, doing some facial exercises, improving your style, or getting a new haircut, will indirectly boost testosterone by exposing you to more social events that will challenge you and require this boost. Studies show that holding this more open body language could change your thoughts, emotions, hormones, etc. But the problem, in my opinion, is that it doesn't change that much of it, and it's a struggle to constantly think about your body language. This could actually lead to you have a worse life. When you're constantly overthinking about, oh, I need to hold my chin like this and my shoulders back and this and that, you're not really present in the moment. You're not really there with the person. They will see it, people realize when you're not mentally with them, and since we know that relationships are extremely important in our lives, if people start to see that you're not really listening and not really mentally present with them, they won't want to spend as much time with you. Maybe I'm going too far, but the point is that the impact of body language isn't that high and it won't change your testosterone dramatically. Focus on the things that are important socially, focus on the thing that will make a good impact and that will generally change how you feel on a day-to-day basis.